have limits. Consider high beam. That high beam driver would be very frightened if he thought this driver was a blind man. And yet, for the moment, isn't he? Or how about that high beam driver behind? Would he want to tailgate a partially blind driver? And yet that's what he's doing. Following a man blinded by his own high beams. Your high beam can blind other drivers. However, low beam brings different problems. Watch. The big problem with low beam is that with low beam you may overdrive your headlights. Which means in essence that you may not be able to stop your car in the distance your lights illuminate ahead. For example, at 40 miles per hour, from the time you see an obstruction until your foot hits the brake, you travel 44 feet, reaction time. And then before your brakes can bring your car to a stop, you travel at least another 81 feet. That totals 125 feet. Lights on low beam illuminate only 100 feet. That's overdriving your headlights. At 40 miles per hour on low beams, you can't stop in time when you see a slow-moving or standing object. Remember that. But we wonder, how about high beam? Does high beam give adequate visibility? With no other cars approaching or ahead, we can use high beam safely. Then won't we be able to see perfectly well? The fact is that with high beam too, there are limits of visibility, as our friend now learns. In fact, adequate visibility is a problem with both high and low beams. And the reason our friend almost hit the boy on the bicycle was that lights do not illuminate to the sides. There are other limits. Your lights cannot penetrate oncoming glare. Take the case of the other driver who is not only on high beam, but is also a one-eye. Well, which side of this car are you seeing? And here's another limit of lights. Light will not bend around curves, and this can lead to some very uncomfortable surprises. Lights do have limits, and you must learn to drive safely within them.